Who the resuscitated this man? Why? Dude, why? You could have been a hero.
Okay, so we had concerning news coming out of Russia this weekend. Word on the street was Vladimir Putin nearly died. The word is that Vladimir Putin suffered cardiac arrest at home and was found by his security staff halfway gone. So we're going to take a look at this article here, this New York Post article, to get details about what happened. The Kremlin is coming out now denying that this even happened, but some people are happy that he suffered like this, if he did suffer. Some people are angry that he was resuscitated. The whole thing is alleged, but let's take a look. Kremlin denies claims Putin had heart attack. See, at first they were saying cardiac arrest. Now, heart attack, those are two completely different types of medical conditions. Calls body double rumors absurd hoax. And the reason why there was so much panic is because we got this whole proxy war going on in the United States, the American Russo proxy war. The Americans are using Ukraine as their proxy and pushing the Europeans closer and closer to a full-scale hot war against Russia. And we know Putin pretty well. He's been around for decades at this point. He's been in charge of Russia for the longest, either as the president or the prime minister. So you can kind of know what to expect from Putin. There are people in Russia, there are Russian leaders who are way more hot-headed than Putin, who have way less patience than Putin, and who dislike America way more than Putin. So if there's some type of power vacuum or somebody replaces Putin, things can go really bad really quickly. We're talking about World War III territory, which is why people were so concerned. The Kremlin on Tuesday denied reports that Vladimir Putin had a heart attack at the weekend. I think they mean on the weekend. Tighten up, New York Post. And dismissed persistent rumors that the Russian president uses body doubles to hide his ill health as an absurd hoax. You know what? When I read this right here, it seems like projection, because don't we say the same thing about Joe Biden? Because Joe Biden comes out sometimes, looks like he's caked in makeup, and his voice sounds completely different than his normal voice, completely weird. And we know Joe Biden has all type of mental issues, mental illnesses, dementia, things like that going on. So are they just projecting these people who push these rumors out there? The truth is that something happened to Biden this last weekend, and to try to make sure that we don't start talking about that, they hurry up and push out a story about Putin going through what Biden actually went through. I don't know. It's all speculation. The denial came after the Telegram channel General SVR, which purports to be run by a former Russian intelligence officer, claimed that Putin collapsed in his bedroom at his Moscow residence Sunday night. The Russian leader, who turned 71 on October 7th, was described as being found by his security detail twisted convulsively on the floor, rolling his eyes. So what they said was allegedly he had security detail just standing outside of his room, and they heard a thump and some dishes moving. So allegedly Putin suffered cardiac arrest. Now it's a heart attack, I guess. But allegedly Putin suffered cardiac arrest, and he fell onto a coffee table in his apartment in Moscow that had food and drinks on it. The coffee table flipped over, the food and drinks went flying in the air, and Putin was laid out on the floor with his eyes rolled in the back of his head, and the security detail was able to call for medical help at that point. Medics who were on duty at the apartment determined that Putin had suffered a cardiac arrest but were able to resuscitate him, the Telegram channel claimed. So, is it New York Post? They don't know the difference between cardiac arrest and a heart attack, because cardiac arrest is much more deadly, because cardiac arrest means your heart stops. And you have an extremely short window of time. That's why most people die from this. You have an extremely short window of time to get some type of medical help. But apparently, Putin has all his medical equipment, has doctors on standby, defibrillator, and everything needed for something like this. Putin's doctors warned that he is very ill and unlikely to survive until the end of fall, the report claimed. I don't know what's going on here. We've been hearing this stuff for years. We've been hearing that Putin has cancer and all of this. But let's continue, get more information. They're showing Putin meeting with people. The channel also claimed that Putin has been using a body double to stand in for him at all official meetings and functions to hide his deteriorating health. Yeah, this sounds like Joe Biden, because when I look at Putin, he's an old man, but he seems in much better condition, much better mental, cognitive function wise. He seems in much better condition than Biden, and even physically, because Biden, when you look at somebody like Biden, it looks like this man is about to drop dead at any moment. If Biden was giving a speech on live TV and he fell out and died right there, the country won't even be shocked. We like, this man had one foot in the grave anyways. So we got these rumors coming out. Maybe it's wishful thinking by the Americans and by people who are pushing these rumors that something will happen to Putin. But like I said, it's very dangerous, because Putin can be replaced by somebody far more hot-headed than him, who would have been way less patient and who could have started a major war with the United States. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov dismissed any concerns over the president's health. Everything is fine with him. This is absolutely another fake, he told reporters Tuesday. As for rumors that Putin uses body doubles to hide his ill health, this belongs to the category of absurd information hoaxes that a whole series of media discuss with inviolable tendency. Peskov insisted, this invokes nothing but a smile. So yeah, here he is just saying, stop making stuff up. The media spreading lies about Putin. And if this is a rumor, I don't really see what they're going to get out of it. You're going to say, oh, Putin had a heart attack. Oh, Putin suffered cardiac arrest. Okay. What do we do with that information? What does that do for the Ukrainians who are suffering over there? What does that do for Americans at home, where the taxpayers are being drained and billions of dollars are being shipped over there to Ukraine? Putin had some type of medical issue. He's still alive. What does it do for anybody? Why spread rumors like this? Putin traveled to China last week to attend an international summit in Beijing. On his way back home, the president made a stop in the Urals city of Perm, where he was photographed meeting with boxing and kickboxing athletes. In the 2020 interview, Putin denied rumors that he has body doubles, although he said he has been offered a chance to use one in the past for security reasons. According to General SVR's recent report, which has been picked up by several Western outlets, after his latest health scare, Putin was installed in a bedroom featuring cutting-edge medical equipment. The president's condition has been stabilized. He is under constant medical supervision, the channel claimed. And again, I keep thinking about Biden when I'm reading this, because you're telling me Putin lives in some little apartment and you have a full medical bay, you have all his equipment, everything on standby. It sounds like something that the decrepit old man needs, because we know that they're injecting this man and they're pushing pills down his throat before he goes out in front of the camera. It's obvious, because you can see sometimes where the medicine's not working properly or where it's starting to wear off, because his mind is gone. His mind is shot. And we know that this man has one foot in the grave and he can be gone in any minute. So, of course, in the White House, wherever he is, they have a doctor on standby 24/7. They have a full medical team, all types of equipment, basically a mini hospital, a mini emergency room. The White House already has a medical area, a medical clinical area, but even closer to Biden, you have a mini ER designed just for him, just in case something like this happens. The cardiac arrest has raised concerns about members of Putin's inner circles, some of whom allegedly agreed to have a meeting about possible actions to be taken if the president dies in the coming days. So the line of succession over there in Russia is a little different, because they don't have a vice president. In Russia, they have a prime minister. So you have a president and a prime minister. The prime minister is, what's his name? Mikhail Mushitin. We don't really hear from him too much. We hear from Putin, and we hear from the former president and former prime minister, what's his name? Dmitry Medvedev. We hear from these guys a lot. So if something does happen to Putin, if he does drop dead, I guess they'll put the prime minister in. He'll take over. Or maybe Medvedev can come back. This guy, Dmitry Medvedev, he's been working in the last couple of years as Putin's attack dog. If you look at some of the stuff this guy says, saber rattling, you will see how patient Putin is and why you don't want a guy like Medvedev running the show. Because this guy has already talked about destroying Germany. He's already talked about a massive war in Europe, talking about building up armies of millions of men. He's already talked about nuking the United States, about how the United States is giving Ukraine weapons, so the United States must won't smoke, so we can go ahead and drop the nukes on the United States. This guy says a whole lot of stuff. So if you have him as the main guy, if he replaces Putin in Russia, all these actions that the United States and its flunkies in NATO are doing, all that money and these weapons they're sending over there to Ukraine to quote unquote weaken Russia, it wouldn't be happening because Medvedev would scare the hell out of those European countries, because those European countries know that if they get attacked by Russia, the United States is not going to send boots on the ground to save them, because that'll just escalate things into full-blown nuclear war. So if you have a guy like him replace Putin, things will be very different over there in Europe. The Telegram channel has repeatedly claimed that Putin suffers from a host of serious and potentially terminal ailments. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, including cancer, affecting his stomach and bowels, and Parkinson's disease. Yeah, Putin has been dying for years, allegedly, from all types of diseases. They always coming up with something. They did this to Kim Jong-un a couple of times, too. We don't know what happened over there, but he was missing for a little while off camera. The people in the West hadn't seen him, so they were saying, oh, man, he just died. He died, or he's on his deathbed, and his sister, who's less patient and more of a hothead to him, she's about to take over. But yeah, we don't really know what's going on over there with these people. Last year, the outlet reported that the Russian leader fell down a short flight of stairs. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying about projection? Biden keeps falling down the stairs trying to go up Air Force One. So now they got him going up the smaller flight of stairs, the kiddie stairs, as Trump calls it. So look, he fell down the flight of stairs. He soiled himself after landing on his tailbone, acclaimed the Kremlin later tonight. And what did we hear about Joe Biden when he went to that G20 summit and he met with the Pope over there at the Vatican? What was the rumor out there? That something happened during that meeting, and they say Joe Biden doo-dooed on himself or something. But now they're trying to say the same thing is happening with Putin. So both Putin and Biden are shitting themselves and falling downstairs. Because we know Biden has been doing it, but is this just Western media projecting what they wish would happen to Putin, but what's actually happening to Biden? Or is it happening to both of them? Crazy stuff. Since the start of the war with Ukraine, Putin has appeared weak and unsteady on multiple occasions. He has been convulsively gripping the side of a table or seemingly involuntarily jerking his feet while in public. So I guess Putin is dying. So all I'm saying is, if this man dies, you just better hope he's not replaced by some hothead over there. You better hope that somebody much more patient than him, or somebody similar to him, who can actually assess the situation from a human cost point of view and realize that we don't need to escalate this war, and some type of peace needs to be made, and just don't go after the Americans with revenge in mind, because we're talking about nuclear war. So these people may wish that Putin would drop dead. We've seen some people angrily wishing death on Putin. Lindsey Graham, that jackass, is calling for the assassination of Vladimir Putin, but you don't know what you're going to get to replace it. Let me know what y'all think. Leave your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.